unbeaten fighters and major performers. I can't tell you how excited I am about this.
James Helder, IFL TV, MTK Global. With me, I've got trainer and manager Dave Caldwell. We're here today in Liverpool ahead of Amir Khan taking on Phil GRECO. Firstly, how are you, Dave? Looking very summery today.
Do you know what? The sun's out. The sun's out. I'm happy. Yeah, it's good.
It's funny how a little bit of sun makes everyone a lot more cheerful.
Complete mood lifter, isn't it? Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's. I've just got here just now. I just drove up to Liverpool. So looking forward to another big fight weekend.
Big fight weekend indeed. Amir Khan, GRECO. What do you make of Amir Khan's chances of being successful against Phil GRECO?
You would have to say that he's the favourite. GRECO, I've watched a little bit of him, to be honest. I've seen a couple of his fights. He's very, very tough, very good game, comes to fight. But given Khan's pedigree, you would imagine that he's got the style to beat him. The thing about Amir Khan is he's been out for a couple of years. We don't know what he's got left. And also, he always tends to make things a little bit more exciting than he has to. So you just don't know. You don't know with him.
Do you think Phil GRECO will be coming into this optimistic he can catch and land that one shot to turn the fight around against Amir Khan?
I think, to be honest, I think everybody goes into a fight with Khan thinking, all I've got to do is hit my chin. But it's a lot harder than what you're thinking, and he's tougher than what you think. You know, he's been taken out by a couple of very good fighters. But then you look at the fights like one of my favourite fights of his is Maidana. Don't come much tougher than Maidana and much bigger punches than Maidana, and he stood up to that. You know, Khan's one thing about Khan is he's a very, very tough kid. He's got plenty of balls about him. So when he has to, he can grit his teeth and he can fight. He's been caught with some shots before and put him out, but that can, that's boxing. That can happen to anybody. And the thing is someone like GRECO, who skill-wise can't compete on that level with Khan. His game plan will be to try and suck it up, tighten his guard up, walk him down and grind him down, and hopefully stop him with a big shot. But like I said, it's a lot harder than what you think, and it's only quality fighters that can do that. Quality fighters.
Do you think that's why GRECO's been quite vocal in trying to wind Amir Khan up with personal situations to make him come out at him, make him angry? Yeah,
I think because he knows the only chance he's got is if Khan stands there and has it with him, because then you can any fighter, if they stand there with a guy that's not on their level skill-wise, you're turning it into a 50-50 fight. If you're standing there trading, swinging bombs, anyone with little gloves on, anyone can knock anybody out with a certain shot. And GRECO knows that that's his only chance. The intriguing thing is that he started all the slating and the crap talk and everything, trying to get under Khan's skin weeks and weeks ago. Khan's had a lot of time to cool and be chilled and get that out of his system up to now, and then it came to the press conference yesterday, and it was all polite and everything. So maybe it's the size of the task that's all of a sudden just starting to get onto GRECO. It's not going to be boxing a couple of thousand people. He took a 9,000 sellout. And Khan's a massive name here. I think the media that turned up at the press conference yesterday, it was packed out house, fans and media. And I'm just wondering, maybe he's realised just how big a task this is, and it's gone into a shell a little bit. I mean, I would have thought with somebody that had that game plan to get under Khan's skin, there's no point in doing it weeks ago when they're not on fight week. So I don't know. Maybe he'll try something today at the weigh-in. I don't know.
We're led to believe that Kell Brook is going to be ringside watching the fight. Right. I mean, does that potentially, if Amir Khan wins, like that whole whole saga, will it happen? Won't it happen?
It's got to. There's no excuse for either of them now. They're both under the same promotional banner, and I think it's a fight that's got to happen. Kell's had his fight back, looked great against Rabchenko. Khan comes in, looks good against GRECO, puts on a good performance. Let's do that fight, before either of you fight for another world title. Let's have a face-off first, and then the winner goes on to a world title shot. That, for me, I think that's what needs to happen. Because otherwise, it's a fight that's just going to go a little bit too on and probably won't happen. It has to happen. I think it has to happen in 2018.
We're led to believe that Amir Khan's got a free fight deal with Eddie Hearn. if the fight doesn't happen with Kell Brook, do you think it's part of a failure and a loss from all sides, and in particular from Eddie, that he hasn't managed to get it over the line?
The problem is, you can blame promoters all you want, but if the fighters or the teams around the fighters don't want to fight, the fight's not going to happen. You know, and ultimately, I think they're both at this stage of their careers now. You know, Khan and Brook aren't at the height of what they once was. You know, obviously Kell Brook's not world champion now. He's stepped up. He's on a new adventure. You know, trying to crack it at light middleweight at 154. And Khan obviously is coming off of what he's become over the last couple of years. So they're not where they were. So really, I think make it now. It'll be a big fight now. It'll be a big fight. Even people that are saying that they're not interested in it, oh, it's done, it should happen a couple of years ago, I'm not interested in it. They're not interested because there's all this talk and bullshit and it's never happening. But once the fight gets made and gets signed, I'm telling you, it sells out. You know, it'll be a massive fight and everybody will be talking about it because the personalities involved. So make the fight, and then whoever wins, they're in that position. Because let's just look at 154. That's a tough division. There's no guarantees that if they think, oh, we'll wait until Kell wins a world title, gets him a world title shot at 154. There's no guarantee he's going to win a world title at 154. That's a tough division. You know, some big monsters in that division, some good fighters, some big punchers. So you know, there's no guarantees. And same with Khan, you don't know. I mean, we don't know what division is he going to operate in. He's going to division in 140. Is he going to operate in 147? He's going to 154. If he's in 147, that's a tough division. You know, so either or, 147, 154, for either of those two fighters at this stage of their career to answer the questions about him and to get back to become a world champion, that's tough. I mean, I would love them both to win a world title, but I wouldn't look at these two and say, yes, Khan's nailed on to win a title at 147, 154. Kell Brook's nailed on to win a world title at 154. No, I wouldn't. So for me, there's more chance of these two guys losing, and that further tarnishes this mega fight, than there is of winning a world title. So make the fight now. Get it done. It's done. Put it to bed. It's massive. The media interest, the fans' interest. It'll be a massive payday from both. Do the fight now, and then winner moves on and gives it a go.
Let's talk about your man, Tony the Bomber Bellew. No doubt.
It's getting close.
Always brimming with passion, to say the least. How is everything going with him, and how is the mood within the team?
Yeah, the mood's great. Do you know what? It's a great vibe at the moment. Touch wood, everything's going great. Some wood. Everything's going great. It's looking good. Mentally he's in a great spot. The gym's vibing at the moment. It's just good. Everything's, we're happy. There's no bullshit to talk about. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. Everything's good. You know, he's looking good. Sparring's great. It's sharp. It's focused. And do you know what it is now? It's one of those things where every trainer will know what I'm saying. When the fight starts coming down, the weeks going by, if you're chasing your tail and you think, oh, could do another 2 weeks, oh, could do another week, we're not like that. If the fight was now, would be cool. You know, we've got another couple of weeks to wait now. There's nothing being chased. Everything's sound. Everything's fine how I'd like him to be. So, please God, we get to fight night, and it happens.
We know David HAYE is sort of putting everything into this. It's make or break from his point of view. Does that make you more concerned with David HAYE, like a wounded animal? He could have that sort of that bit between his teeth.
If you was concerned about your opponents in these big fights where you're fighting dangerous fighters, you'd shit yourself before you get in the ring, because David HAYE can turn anybody's lights out. You know, we know that. We've always known that about him. You can't be looking at that and thinking, oh well, what if he's this? What if he's that? I'm preparing Tony Bellew to be the best Tony Bellew that Tony Bellew can be, and that's all my concern is. David HAYE can worry about Bellew, he can worry about himself getting into ring, he can worry about himself performing. He's the one that's got all these questions that he has to answer. Everything. It can go back to before the first fight. There's a lot of unanswered questions of David HAYE, and that's his concern. I'm not interested in what version of David HAYE turns up. As long as Bellew's at the best that he can be, these two fighters right now are the best that they can be right now. Bellew wins.
Do you expect it to go the distance? Do you expect a KO win for your man?
Quite possibly, it could. But I do actually think that Bellew stops it. I think it's going to be a very faster fight than the first one. I think it'll be a better fight than the first one. Very, very smart. Two boxing brains ticking in there. You know, people don't give them credit for the boxing brains. But I think you're going to see that early doors, especially. But there's going to be explosive moments, and there's going to be bits where you're going, shit. And then, you know, then the fight will really heat up mid rounds towards the end. I think it'll be a cracker.
May the 5th cannot come soon enough. Before we go, quick word on the machine. He's looking to move to 6-0. Anthony Fowler, quick word on him.
Yeah, Fowler's a work in progress. You know, he's got plenty of heart, determination, toughness, and he can punch, he can fight, and he's just got to make sure that he keeps trying to box a little bit within those moments when he wants to go to fight. Try and be a little bit cuter, not telegraph his power shots. And he's getting it. He's getting in sparring. You know, he's been getting some great sparring in, and it's just all part of his education. At this stage, when you're talking, 5-6 fights, it's just about education. We're against a tough kid tomorrow in Ryan Tom's Southpaw. We found that out, basically yesterday. And so he's not had any Southpaw sparring for this, but he has had Southpaw sparring while he's been with me in the past. So it's all part of his education.
Dave Caldwell, thank you very much for coming to IFL TV. Great to get you on the channel, sir. And we look forward to catching you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
3 rounds, 3 minutes, 3 fights.
Unbeaten fighters and major performance. I can't tell you how excited I am about this.